Sapiens is a 7-year development project from Dave Frampton and Magic Jungle. It releases on July 26, 2022, and you should definitely add it to your wishlist. Sapiens is a city builder / god sim that allows you to manage, guide and grow a small tribe of 5 individuals, starting off in prehistoric times, and through a number of discoveries like fire, tools, cooking and even music, you can progressively improve and enhance your tribe members' lives, homes, understanding and manipulation of their surroundings. I instantly became a fan after playing the demo, which is still available on Steam for you to try. And I want to convey my endless thanks to Magic Jungle, who have provided me this early access so that I can create some gameplay and this review for you. Now, I don't just think that Sapiens is excellent, I also find its potential to be really exciting. Despite my admiration for this game, I will be providing some constructive criticisms and some wishlist ideas based on the gameplay experiences that I have had. But please do understand that this is still in early access and it's not the finished title yet. Initially, what really impressed me with this title is just how well thought out the background game mechanics, and more importantly, just how well they have been implemented. Now, this might not mean much to some of you out there, but it is really important because it means that the game's scalability is virtually limitless. And for a game that is in early access with lots of ideas and areas to expand into, this is a very exciting aspect indeed. Just to clarify, Sapiens is already very accomplished and packed full of content. The world is Earth-sized, and other than the fantastic styling of the varying objects, characters and biomes, the individuality of the characters and how well everything just works together is really impressive. I especially enjoyed the process for learning new skills, which cleverly incorporates actual resources, locking them whilst the learning process and animation is played through, culminating in new milestones and unlocking new opportunities and discoveries to explore. Each individual Sapien has personality traits, including but not limited to late sleepers, optimistic, creative, energetic, and many, many more. These personality traits reflect their in-game capabilities and behaviour, and they need to be considered and managed when issuing roles to ensure that you always have enough essential resources in order to survive. One example of which is children carry 1 branch at a time, whereas an adult can carry 3. I'd like to see some dynamic change on this in the future, where stronger Sapiens can carry more branches and weaker, perhaps more creative types can only carry a few. Having babies and encouraging roaming nomads to join you are the only ways to grow your tribe, and that is offset with old age and death. Right now, individual Sapiens have just 2 scaling markers, happiness and loyalty. And whilst the family component is yet to be fully released, Sapiens will become very sad when friends or family members die, causing their happiness scale to bottom out, thus making them mope about and generally become less useful. Equally, the lack of food, shelter, warmth, or being overworked will result in lower happiness too. And if that isn't resolved quickly enough, loyalty will begin to decrease. And if both stay too low for too long, then they will leave the tribe for good. As I know only too well in my playthrough, after building the infamous stone path. You can check that out on 𝐒𝐢𝐕 and 𝐒𝐢𝐕 Ultimate Realism. Now, Sapiens take a very logical and progressive set of steps in order to unlock and progress, but your Sapiens are not invincible. Injuries, illness and death are definitely part of the challenge. If you fail to collect enough warm clothing for the winter, you will find that Sapiens could develop hypothermia. Additionally, the freedom that's given to the player when building, planting and planning your community just adds so much to the fun, the individuality and your own style that you can put on things, and overall the enjoyment that the game provides. Honestly, I cannot recall being so immersed in a game since I was a child. Numerous seemingly harmless animals can be found roaming about, and their fur, bones and meat are all useful in various ways. Woolly mammoth burgers are definitely one of the Sapiens' favourite foods. However, this is not a finished article. I think there are definitely areas that could do with a tweak or two. Primarily, I found the role management screen to be a little bit clunky. I'd like to see some redesign to this interface in order to make it cleaner, clearer, and a little more streamlined. Right now, there just seems to be too much clicking forwards and backwards, and that can become a little tedious. Now, obviously, I'd like to see things like wild animals. I'm thinking saber-toothed tigers for one. That would be a nice addition, and as yet, I've not discovered how to fish, swim, or even make boats, but I haven't necessarily got to the end of the game yet. There seems to be a maximum distance from the Sapiens that I can move the camera, and I'm not sure yet if this is a physical limitation or if I just need to bring a Sapien with me in order to explore further down the coastline. Additionally, there seem to be no hostile tribes, no multiplayer, and whilst I'm letting my imagination completely run wild, Sapiens originally started out as a space-based, resource-led title, and I'm wondering how far into the future the development of Sapiens' understanding and development could go. Let's set our sights on being able to build spaceships and start a new colony on another planet. Now, obviously, I'm completely spitballing here. None of this is currently planned for the game right now, but the ability of the devs and the solid and robustness of the game already makes me think that much of what I've just said is a distinct possibility, perhaps one day. There are some additional things that I've thought of that I'm just adding to this after making the initial video. It's around seasons and the difficulty level. I think it would be great if there was like a hardcore mode and an easy mode, because at the moment, for example, if you're trying to collect hay and it turns to winter and there's snow on the ground, you can still collect and make hay. Now, I don't think that's particularly likely to be possible in the winter months, so I'd very much like to see a hardcore mode where not only is it impossible to make hay in the winter, but also other things like the fruit, which tends to pretty much last all year round. I think it should have like a month where it's ready and it's ripe to be harvested, and if you don't get it at that time, it starts to rot and the quality of the food is then reduced. Other things like, apples at the moment can last for a very, very, very long time. Maybe the length of an apple should be less, but you can turn it into alcohol or apple juice and it lasts longer, things like that. That's what I'm thinking. Now, of course, the game's in early access, so a lot of this might well be planned already, but these are just a few of the things I would like to see. Hunting, I think it would be great if you could have more than one person hunting, if you could set maybe up to 5 people, especially when you're trying to take down a mammoth. Those things are huge and they can get quite aggressive. So yeah, I'd really like to see that implemented in the game as well. There's probably 100 other things that I've said during my gameplay that I've completely forgotten to mention in this video, so please do go watch my gameplay. They're very long, they're not edited down, everything is just about me exploring and testing stuff out, and there's some really cool things that I've discovered, and I've just really enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed playing the game, and I just want it to continue growing and expanding, and I want the devs to get a good amount of custom from this game so that they can continue developing it at a faster rate. It's taken 7 years to get here. By this time next year, I'd like to see a lot more content, a lot more discoverable abilities and stuff like that, because at the moment it doesn't feel like there's quite enough to bring us up to modern day standards, but if that were possible, I might be asking too much there, but it would be wonderful if we could come all the way up to modern day and beyond. Like I say, I'd love to be able to build spaceships and go to another planet and start again. That would be incredible. But yeah, just some ideas that I've come up with whilst I've been playing. This is an incredible title. I highly recommend you check it out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye for now.
Nyumbani malaika walinde mkae kwetu salama, karibuni wageni wetu mjisikie nyumbani. Haleluya, karibuni jamani, mjisikie furaha, Mungu yuko pande zote, msiogope chochote, jisikie nyumbani. Malaika walinde mkae kwetu salama, jisikie nyumbani. Malaika